We are going to study topic 2.3 electric potential due to an electric dipole. So suppose if we are having an electric dipole like this, suppose this is positive charge and this is our negative charge, and we have a point P over here, and we need to calculate electric potential at point P due to this dipole. So for that, we'll just construct the figure first. Distance of the point P from the positive charge is, suppose, say R1. From the center of the dipole is, suppose, R. And from the negative charge is, suppose, R2. So this distance is R2. We know that the distance between positive and negative charge of a dipole is 2a. So I'll write that distance. So this is 2a. We know that the direction of the dipole is from negative to positive charge. So I'll draw that dipole moment along with its direction. So this is our dipole moment. This dipole moment is making an angle theta with the direction of this point P with respect to the center of the dipole. So this is that theta. Now suppose if this point P is very far from this dipole, then I can consider this angle to be equivalent to this theta. Okay, now we'll start with our derivation. We know the formula of electric potential at a given point due to a single charge. That formula is V is equals to KQ upon R, where Q is the source charge and R is the distance of the point where we need to calculate electric potential due to the source charge. So we know the formula of potential at this point due to this positive charge and due to this negative charge. From this formula we can calculate it. And by using the principle of superposition, we will be adding both the formulas to obtain the resultant potential at point P. So we'll start our derivation. So from principle of superposition, what I can say, V is equals to V is total potential at this point P. So the total potential at point P is equals to potential due to positive charge plus potential due to negative charge. Now I'll substitute the values of these. So from this equation, potential due to the positive charge at point P is going to be K plus Q. This is our source charge divided by what is the distance of this positive charge from the point. The distance is R1. So I'll substitute the value of the distance, that is R1, plus potential due to the negative charge at the point P. So that is K minus Q divided by R2, that is the distance. Remember, while calculating the potentials, you need to write the polarity of the charges. Now from this equation, I can take KQ as common. So I'm taking KQ common. So I'll be left with 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Sorry, this was negative over here. So if I substitute this negative value, what I will get is one upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. If I further solve this, I am going to get R2 minus R1 upon R1 into R2. Now I need to obtain these values. And if I substitute these values in this equation, then I'm going to get the total potential at point P due to the dipole. So now how I will obtain these values? What is this R2 minus R1? If you observe the figure, this distance is R2 and this distance is R1. So the difference between these two distances is going to give me R2. Now what I have considered that this point P is very far from the dipole. So this R distance is very big than the distance A. What is A? A is this distance. So I have considered that R is very big than A. If I consider that, then how will I obtain the difference R2 minus R1? For that I need to draw a perpendicular from this charge on this line R2. Why we are doing this, that I'll explain at the end of this topic. But from the figure now you can see that this R2 minus R1 is this distance. This is R2 minus R1. Okay, now how will I obtain this R2 minus R1? Just see, this is a right angle triangle. So if I want this length, then I can apply the formula of cos theta. So that we'll write here. From figure, cos theta is equals to adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Therefore, the adjacent side is equals to hypotenuse into cos theta. What is hypotenuse? This is hypotenuse. We have taken the formula of this cos theta. So this is the adjacent side and this is hypotenuse. What is the length of the hypotenuse? It is 2a. So the adjacent side is 2a cos theta. So this R2 minus R1 is 2a cos theta. So this numerator we have obtained, R2 minus R1 is 2a cos theta. Now this denominator, R1 into R2. Now again, we considered the case that this point P is very far from this dipole. In that case, just imagine if this point P is very far away, then what will happen? All these distances R1, R, R2 will be more or less equal. So now what I will write is for our R very big than A, I can say that R2 minus R1 is equals to 2a cos theta, and one more thing, R1 will be equal to R2 and that will be equal to R. So from this, what I can say, what is my denominator? R1 into R2, it will give me R square. So I'll substitute both these values in my equation. I'll substitute these values in this equation. So what I will get after substituting? V is equals to KQ as it is. Instead of this R2 minus R1, I have to substitute 2a cos theta. So I'll write here 2a cos theta divided by R1 into R2. What we have obtained? R1 into R2 is R square. So I'll write here R square. So now this is our formula for potential. Now if you see in this formula, this is 2a into q. We all know what is 2a into q. It is dipole moment. So instead of this, we'll substitute that value. So, and instead of k, we'll substitute 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So 2a into q will give me p, this cos theta as it is, divided by, instead of this k, I'm substituting 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught and this r square as it is. Now, this p cos theta is actually vector p dot r cap. So V is equals to vector P dot r cap upon denominator remains as it is. Now how this took place? So for that, this you need not write in the exam. So we'll start solving this. See, vector P dot r cap. What is r cap? I want this value. In this, what is r cap? R cap is vector r upon mod of r. So I'll substitute that value. So instead of r cap, what I'll write now? Vector P remains as it is dot. Instead of r cap, I'll be writing vector r upon mod of r. Now, what is this P dot r? It will give me mod of P into mod of r into cos theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between dipole moment and r. What was that? It was theta. See from the figure. This is the dipole moment and this is our r. You can consider a unit vector along this direction, r cap. So the angle between them is theta. Divided by mod of r. Now this was a unit vector and we all know the magnitude of the unit vector is going to be 1. So if we substitute the value magnitude of r, that is 1. So it will give me P cos theta. So we have obtained vector P dot r cap is P cos theta. So that's how we substituted this value over here. And this we have obtained by considering this condition when r is very big than a. So this is the potential at a point P which is very far away from the dipole, and the point is neither on the axial line nor on the equatorial plane. See, this point P is not on this axial line. This is the axis of the dipole. So point P is not on the axis. Neither it is on the equatorial plane. Equatorial plane will be passing through here. So this point P is not on the equatorial plane also. So now we'll obtain the value for potential at a point on axis and on equator. So for that we'll consider case 1. So here the point P is on axis. So what will happen? Just see the figure. If this point P is on this axial line, on this line, if I shift this point P from here on the axial line like this, this is our point P, then what happens to this theta? If it turns like this, यहाँ पर आ जाएगा आपका point P, here, यहाँ से ऐसे shift होके यहाँ पर आ जाएगा. तो what will happen to this theta? See, as it is moving, theta is decreasing. जैसे ही आपका ये point P यहाँ से यहाँ आ जाएगा, your theta is going to become 0. Or else, the point P, instead of being here, it can be on this side also. तो हम इस point P को यहाँ से ऐसे rotate कर सकते हैं, like this way. ऐसे हो जाएगा. तो what will happen to this theta? Then the theta is going to become 180. So when this theta becomes 0, ये जब point P यहाँ आ जाता है, तो according to our figure, point P will be close by to positive charge. And when this point P shifts in this way and come on the axial line along this direction and theta becomes 180, then we'll say that point P is nearby to negative charge. So for that I'll write now. So for point P on axis, either our theta can be equal to 0 when this condition will take place, when P is near to positive charge, and we can have our theta as 180 when this takes place, when P is near to negative charge. Okay, now from this equation we'll substitute the value of theta in this equation. So what will happen? If I substitute here theta is equals to 0 in this equation, cos 0 is equals to 1. So what potential I'll obtain? V is equals to P upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. If I substitute theta is equals to 180 in this equation, then cos 180 is equals to minus 1. So what potential I'll obtain is V is equals to minus P upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So potential will be positive for theta is equals to 0 and it will be negative for theta is equals to 180, or else I can say that potential will be positive when we need to calculate potential at a point P which is near to positive charge, and the potential will be negative when the point P is near to the negative charge. So this was our case 1. We have calculated potential at a point on axial line. Now case 2. P is on equator. Then what will happen? Just see the figure. Equator means this line perpendicular to the dipole axis. So our point P, from here it will shift like this on this perpendicular bisector of the dipole. What will happen to the theta? See, as I turn this line like this, then theta becomes 90. So when the point P is on the equatorial line, or you can say wherever on the equatorial plane, this theta becomes 90. So now I'll substitute theta is equals to 90 in this equation. So if I substitute theta is equals to 90, what I'm going to get? Cos 90 is equals to 0. So our potential is going to be 0 for theta is equals to pi by 2. Now here one important point. Potential on equatorial plane is 0. But can you say that electric field is 0? No. So remember this. But electric field is not equal to 0 on the equatorial plane. We have already calculated the value of electric field due to a dipole on axis and on equatorial plane. So remember that even though the electric field is not equal to 0 on the equatorial plane, the potential is going to be 0 on the equatorial plane. Okay, now we'll see few conclusions from this derivation. As we have obtained that potential on the equatorial plane is 0, so we can say that, see, this is the equatorial plane of the dipole. So suppose if I have a charge here on the equatorial plane, and if I want to move it anywhere on this equatorial plane from A to D or A to B or from A to C, anywhere on this equatorial plane, then the work done will be 0. मुझे कोई मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी ये चार्ज पार्टिकल को यहाँ कहीं पे भी इस इक्वेटोरियल प्लेन पे घुमाने के लिए. So that was one thing. Now just see this equation. Here if this theta is kept constant, then rest all quantities are constant. So what I can say is that the potential decreases as 1 upon r square. If you remember, then the potential due to a single charge was decreasing as 1 upon r. Just see this formula. This is the potential due to a single charge. So potential due to a single charge was proportional to 1 upon r, whereas the potential due to a dipole is proportional to 1 upon r square. From this, we can see that the potential due to a dipole is cylindrically symmetric. Now how we can obtain that? Just see this figure. If I keep this theta constant, then what will happen? What is this theta? Just see from the figure. See, this is our dipole. positive charge, negative charge, and then this is the equatorial plane. So it is passing through the center of the dipole. So this will be the theta. Just compare it with the figure. So here at this end theta is formed. Now if keeping this theta constant I rotate this, then what happens? See, at present the point P is here. If I rotate it and take it on the other side, then what will happen? This point P will come here somewhere. So if I keep the theta constant and I keep on rotating this line is this R in this figure. So I will get all the points where the potential is going to be same. And if I combine all those points, I'm going to get one circle. Now see, I'll keep this theta constant and I'll just move a little bit upward. And again, I'll move this line R in all the directions. Then again, I am going to get one more circle. And over that circle, again, the potential is going to be same as it was here at the point P. If I come on the other side, again, I'll be keeping the theta same. Then again I am going to get one more circle where the potential is going to be same. Now if I connect all those circles, एक यहाँ से बना था, फिर एक और हमने ऊपर लाइन लिया था, वहां से एक सर्कल बना था. अगर हम इन सभी सर्कल्स को कनेक्ट कर देंगे तो क्या बन जाएगा? एक सिलेंडर बन जाएगा. एंड over all the points on that cylinder, the potential is going to remain same. So we can say that potential due to a dipole has cylindrical symmetry. Now I told you that at the end of the topic, we'll discuss why we plotted this perpendicular on this line R2 to obtain this difference R2 minus R1. See, here we wanted the difference between the length of these two lines R2 and R1, and we considered that this point P is very far away from the dipole. So now suppose if this much portion is not there, see, if this point P is very far away, then what we can say that this angle theta is becoming very small, nearly it becomes equal to 0. Now if I plot here a perpendicular like this, then this angle on this side is also 90. I know that the sum of angles, all the three angles of a triangle is 180. This became 0 as this point was very far away. If this is 90, then this also is going to be 90. So what you can see from this triangle, that this angle is 90, this angle is 90, and this angle is 0, and this point P is very far away. So from this triangle, we can conclude that this R1 and R2 are equal. This portion of the length R2 is equal. So अब हमें difference ढूंढना था. So फिर difference कितना बचा? सिर्फ इतना. So what we'll do, whenever this point P is very far away and we want to calculate the difference between like these two lines, we'll plot a perpendicular, and instead of calculating this whole distances, we will calculate only this much portion R2 minus R1. So that's all for this topic.